Well, I posted online for some help regarding removal of this gear from the shaft. One of the replies I got was somebody who said that they don't bother removing this gear from the shaft, that when they reassemble it, they actually just slide this in. I can imagine if you had extra hands, somebody there helping you, you could support the pump from the back side and kind of bring the pump in as you have the gear already in there. Then the trick is, of course, getting the umbrella seals to seat. I'm not saying you can't do it that way. Obviously, this particular individual has done them that way. I'm just thinking I'm going to have a really hard time lining things up and getting it all timed if I do it that way. So I'd feel much better if I could get this off of the shaft. And I got another reply from somebody who obviously from the reply had done several of these. And use an impact wrench to get that nut off. And I like that idea better because that way I'm not putting force on the weak part of the shaft. Now I'm going to have it held in my vise jaws, protected by the rag. The rag's also wrapped up around the shaft, protecting the shaft. And now I'm going to try my electric impact wrench. That worked out so well and was so easy, I feel kind of embarrassed for not having thought of it myself. Guess now I'll try a gear puller on here. This isn't that tight, so a regular 2-jaw pulley that I've got here is working just fine. That was easy. I also want to mention there was a washer on this underneath that nut that I just removed and cleaned up. So now if I want to remove this hub from the shaft, I need to use a puller. I think I'm going to leave that on for the time being because I just folded that umbrella seal back, and I think I can take that umbrella seal off this end and install the new ones from that end. So I'm not sure why I would necessarily want to take this hub off of the shaft unless I'm replacing the shaft, which I don't plan on doing at this time. So I think I'll just leave that on there. Now I want to remove the pilot bushing, or the pilot tube as they call it, which is this long cylindrical brass bushing. You can see it's proud of the face here on this side, but it's flush on the inside, so that's how I'll know when I go to seat the new one how far I need to drive it in. Also, this side doesn't have a bevel to it. This side has a significant bevel to it to aid in the installation of the shaft with the new umbrella seals. So in absence of the correct size arbor, I'm going to use this socket. It's a cheap Chinese made socket, but the OD is pretty good on this side here, and it'll actually work even better where there's no bevel on the other side inside there. I'm trying to decide which side of my plates to use, and I think actually the 90-degree edge there, when I put those together, that's going to give me a smaller opening, so that'll give me even more contact surface for the housing. And so I think that's the setup I'm going to go with. Now it's hard to see down in there, so what I did was I stuck my finger up through the bottom of the pilot tube into the socket to center the socket. So I feel fairly confident that I've got it lined up for a good press, and that I won't be pressing on the edge of the body of the pump housing. I'm gonna have to come up with another plan. I don't like the way that I can't be 100% sure if the alignment is where I need it to be. If I start pushing this thing, if I start pressing it and that socket is on the body at all, I could end up cracking the body, and then I'm really in a world of trouble. Okay, I think I got my alignment problem solved. I got this socket right here, which slides right in, and this tapered part of the socket will stick out of the top. and then I'll be able to use that to line up this edge of the socket. It just sticks barely on there. But the point is that should help keep me aligned. Okay, so right now I'm pushing up on that smaller socket, and I've got that all lined up. So if I keep a little bit of pressure on that from underneath with my finger as I'm pressing, that should keep it lined up. Okay, I just shined a flashlight up from the bottom, and you can see that the alignment looks good. So the other thing I can do is I actually rotated the body on this thing. But the other thing is I can actually cheat and look right through here where that covenant fork normally goes down into. I can see what's going on right there. That's going to be another place I can watch when I'm pressing to make sure that I am not damaging the housing. Well, I tried a couple different ideas to push the bushing out from the inside out, and I couldn't get the alignment just right. Too worried about not being able to really see clearly, and if I didn't have that perfectly lined up, I could damage the housing here. So what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to push this bushing out this way. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push it down to almost flush with the top here. So I've got a steel plate in there to give me a little bit of clearance, because the body here actually has this, see it right there, this little section. It's a little proud right there. So I want to make sure that that's nice and flat. And now I should be able to bring the press right down onto that. Quite a bit of pressure on there. It's not moving. I'm all worried about this housing. Well, I double checked. I've got good support here. Don't know whether or not I want to risk putting more pressure on this, or whether or not I should stop until I find out whether or not there's something else I should be doing here. Maybe I need to heat. Maybe I need to apply some heat to the body right here. You know what? I think I'm going to quit right there for now, because tonight I'm supposed to be able to talk with a guy out in Indiana. He replied to one of my posts for some help online, and he actually recommended I just give him a ring tonight, and I think that's what I'm going to do, because he said he's been rebuilding these pumps for quite a few years and has a lot of experience, and this is one of the questions I can run by him, just to make sure I'm not doing something completely wrong here and end up destroying the body of this pump.